But a cute bug, which looks like we're back-ish. This changes nothing about my announcement and what I thought would be my final TikTok. Our sitting president gaslit 170 million Americans by creating a false panic about security. If it wasn't false, why would they back down so quickly? About the so-called security issues that TikTok presents. Yes, TikTok mines your data. So do Facebook and Google. So does every web service you use that doesn't charge you money. That and ads are how they stay in business. With exceptions such as AOC, the majority of modern politicians are still painfully out of touch with the people they pretend to represent the interests of. They instead choose whataboutism, propaganda, tactics to weaponize fear to deflect people's attention from the real enemy, the American capitalist oligarchy. 21st century American capitalism doesn't care about sustainability. It doesn't care if it grinds every working class individual into bone dust, as long as those in charge get the biggest bang for their buck as fast as possible. This may be an issue in other countries as well, but I can't speak for them. We need someone more grounded to the reality of working class America than anyone we've seen the GOP or DNC put forth since at least 2000. Even though I was precocious and politically savvy for a 4th grader, I'm afraid even I couldn't form educated opinions before then. I am slowly going to put but a cute bog witch content on the shelf. This feed will remain. My inbox is open. There are a lot of content creators I adore and will continue to share the work of. One day, I will return to my creative passions. For the time being, I can't focus on them. Far too many people across the country struggle to survive. There are individuals who've done nothing wrong and absolutely do not deserve how close they are to oblivion. The worst part is their stories are in no way unique and haven't been for decades. The lack of infrastructural support for the American people has only gotten worse. Unfortunately, I've had a front row seat to how bad it can get. On this platform, I've discussed my battle to get disability benefits and how my mother and I lost our home. In the end of the day, what kept my mother and I off the street was not one of the many organizations in Massachusetts we tried to contact, but the kindness of a kinswoman who had the room for us. Not the waiting lists, not Section 8, human kindness and chance. The reason I have the confidence to take my shot is not because of the government, not Medicaid, or any of their affiliates, but because of the TikTok app. After my third attempt at finding a general practitioner in the Denver area who would work with a disabled chronic pain patient failed, I didn't know what else to do. The network services would just keep sending me out, one at a time. I had medical trauma. Thus, I recorded a video, explained my situation and conditions. Within 15 minutes of posting that video on TikTok, a woman I'd never met reached out and suggested I try her doctor. As a direct result of that random act of kindness, for the first time since my original injury in March of 2019, I'm finding hope and strength anew. At present, I am still disabled and cannot hold a job, be it part-time customer service position or the mythical 9-to-5 career. That said, I'm not applying for a job this year. I'm applying for a job in 2028. I'm confident by then I'll be up to the challenge thanks to my new care team. This bit is for Social Security. Disabled people need money to survive until they can find a job that will accommodate them. Everyone says they're open to employing the disabled individuals until it means accommodating their restrictions and limits. They just don't hire you. They don't tell you why. Even before my injury, I had medical paperwork that said I needed a regular schedule. This was to maintain my mental health, though they didn't require that information. That simple request was refused by almost every job I called with interest in. Imagine me today telling them I require a mobility aid and can't stand for a whole shift. When was the last time you saw an American sales associate who was allowed to sit down? If by my 37th birthday on June 30th, 2028, I am unable to meet the requirements to get on all 50 ballots, which, by the way, please spread and signal boost. I'm going to need to help in all 50 states. I will stop efforts to get elected in 2028. I will, however, keep my eyes on the Oval Office until such time as American quality of life dramatically improves. I have 4 years. I intend to use that time to continue my treatment to make sure I can meet the physical requirements of the occupation I seek. I will also further enrich myself with the wisdom and knowledge of presidents before me whose ideas resemble mine. Not one is a perfect match, but how could they be? Mankind is constantly evolving. A lot of the modern discussions we're having would baffle historical figures. Where everyone seems to get confused is thinking that's a bad thing. Progress is never a bad thing. Only those who oppose it are. There will always be hateful, angry, and greedy people. It's time the U.S. government stopped conforming to their wishes and started focusing on bettering the quality of life for all Americans. When I get my new TikTok profile up, I'll be sharing my thoughts on different political matters and insight. I welcome any and all questions from the public, assuming they are polite and made in good faith. I have 2 links in my profile now. One for the campaign, one for my creative chaos. Check them out if you want to, or don't. I want to be president, not a dictator. Unlike some people currently in office and their nearest and dearest. Call out villains. Choose hope. Shields 2028.